Action.
Hey, Adam, how's it going?
Man, good to see you. It's been a while.
Been a while indeed.
Come on in.
Alright, so
Come on in, I'll show you the rest of the house.
Beautiful house that you built in Orlando.
Thank you very much.
You've got an amazing view all the way to the Getty. So what was your inspiration in taking on a project like this and building this house?
You know, my goal was to create my dream house, and I thought that I would build a house, and then I wanted to build 30 houses. That was my initial idea, and I thought, well, I'll start with my own, and then I'll use that as my financial anchor to keep building more houses. So my goal was to build my showpiece first, and I really wanted to just max out this property. And I bought this house about 10 years ago. I bought the cheapest, smallest house in the area, but I had a huge piece of land, and I always had this vision of this huge, beautiful house on this property. So the minute I bought my initial house, I started making plans, and I found my architect by watching these other houses he built out here. Actually, the three-story house across the way, the white one, I watched the architect build that one, and I went to their open house and I asked who the architect was, and they gave me his number. I invited him over, and I interviewed him and one other famous architect at the time, and I really liked his vision, and I hired him on the spot, and we just sat out here on my balcony, and we were just dreaming about all the things that would be cool if we were like going to do whatever we wanted without regard to money. Right. And then we just made a list of pool in the air with the master bedroom below it. We made a list of all disappearing windows. We talked about putting a garden in the middle of the house and wrapping the house around it. And we were just kind of like going, yeah, that would be cool. Okay. And then 6.5 years later, and a lot of money, we basically did all those things we talked about.
That's perfect.
Things to note, really, on this house are the house used to be positioned straight this way. So the first thing that we did was kind of insisted upon by the architect was he really wanted to cock the house so that you see that view, and you could really, it's a beautiful time right now to see this view. You got the moon right there, you got the Griffin Observatory. This is a famous corridor called the Mulholland Corridor. And you'll also notice that there are no power lines or electric lines. Everything is buried below ground here, so it gives you a very much a South of France kind of feel, and it's the only place in the hills where they buried everything in the ground. And it's very lush. You can see, I've never seen a place in the hills that's this lush.
It's almost a little sanctuary that you're in, and you're so isolated, but you're still like, you're in LA, you're like very close, you're 10 minutes away from being on the Sunset Strip, but at the same time you're in a whole new world, and you look at the sunset right next to the moon, and Griffin Observatory, right?
That's right. And then over that mountain is literally that's the Hollywood Bowl. So you're in the mix, but you feel like you're in the woods. Yeah. This pool that you're looking at is a Zero Edge Infinity ultraviolet pool. So very little chlorine is required to clean it. This entire deck is pedestal, so there's no drains, there's no tilting. All of the water disappears through the cracks, and it's level with the main part of the house.
So if it were to rain out here, or you spill a drink or whatever water, it goes right under.
Goes right. There's a whole drainage system below it. There's like a secondary deck, and it all drains out. So we did that so that you could have a seamless transition from the inside and out, and you could really kind of forget whether you're inside or out. And that was the idea, is that this becomes part of your living space. Because the weather in Southern California is so ideal. Yeah. You really want to capture that and take advantage of that.
You can pretty much be out here all year, right? And, we're out here in October right now.
Yeah.
October, almost November, and it's like, wearing a t-shirt.
Yeah, it is gorgeous.
Yeah.
The whole house basically is custom. We don't have anything that's off the shelf. Everything is from Italy or from Europe in general. This is a floating bar, cantilever, with walnut. We only used 4 materials in the entire house, so that there's a story and a theme from the beginning of the house all the way to the master. So even outside, it's the same material. It's seagrass, which is a natural stone. We used over 100 slabs of this natural stone.
It looks beautiful. So what was unique about using this
Well, we really wanted to use natural, organic ingredients, so that energetically it would give you kind of a live feel of the house. You know, the house faces the east, so the sun rises with your circadian rhythm. So what we liked about this material was the coloring. We liked the fact that there are seashells in it, and we liked the fact that there's a natural stone.
Yeah.
You can see the seams match up indoor and out. We just use different hones. Yeah. So you can see it's a rougher hone outside so you don't slip. It's smoother inside.
Oh yeah.
And then there's no transitions. From the front door, you're never stepping over anything. You're never stubbing a toe.
That's amazing.
And you'll see that we even did this with our showers. The showers seamlessly transition. This is a floating cantilevered walnut island. This wood is just incredible. We wanted to use it all throughout the kitchen. We chose white countertops so that the walnut would be the hero. We didn't want to do any kind of marble or granite to take away from this walnut. But outside, because we were looking for something a little more weatherproof, we transitioned into a white marble. And you can see everything's in the same line, so it's meant to feel like it's just an extension of your indoor kitchen. All the appliances outside are Perlick, all the ones inside are Miele, and Perlick are the best appliances you can put for outdoor kitchens. And then Miele, we just fell in love with the quality and the aesthetic of it. We were really looking for something sleek. And then we really fought for these 13-foot ceilings. It was important for us to push the heights as much as the Mulholland corridor was pushing, because we wanted it to feel grand, and most importantly, we wanted to capture that view. And so even above the windows that are pocketed, we actually have windows all the way to the ceiling. So you really feel like you're getting this massive view of the outside. And that was important to us. All these windows and doors disappear on this entire level, except for one window. They all disappear to the...
So basically, everything opens up, including from the dining room and the living room?
That's right. And they're all stylized windows and doors, so they're very, even when they're open, they have a very slim frame, so they don't take away any of your view.
That's amazing. It's very continuous.
It just keeps opening up, and this is meant to be a continuation of your living room.
Very beautiful. This feels very homey. It's like a big space, but it feels very, like it feels like it's not overwhelming, right? Like a lot of homes feel overwhelming. It's too big. You don't feel comfortable in it. This one, you feel you come home and it's got a very like happy vibe to it. You know?
Absolutely, and that was a big deal for us. You know, we took a lot of notes out of Lenny Kravitz's interior design book, which was have a modern feel in your house, but also have it be warm and sexy and something that you wanted. It's cozy. So
it's very
it's really
cozy.
important for us to lower the ceiling in the family space, and put a walnut ceiling on to give that warmth that I think you really need to feel cozy in your living room.
It does, because as soon as I step in here, I feel like I'm in a much warmer place. Yeah. I feel like I'm in it's almost like a private little apartment in here. Yes. I feel very comfortable.
It's different. It's open, but yet you know you've stepped into something different.
Beautiful stonework that is in the fireplace. What is that?
Thank you. That's marble. And you're going to see that we use the same marble throughout the whole house. So everything that we have is in every room has the same material. So you don't feel like it's kind of like this chaotic story. It's very, you feel like you're reading the same novel when you're walking through your house. So the stones or the materials that we use are an unfinished concrete. We used seagrass. We used walnut. And we used French oak down below, and in just a few areas in the house, you'll see this marble, and it's throughout the house. And you'll see as we progress through. Yeah. The speakers are buried behind the drywall. We used something called stealth audio, so that we didn't have to cut more holes into this beautiful walnut ceiling. And
so you didn't actually have to put speakers in here, so they're actually hidden behind the walls.
They're hidden behind the walls. And they're loud, and you just don't know where the music's coming from, where the sound's coming from. So
That's amazing.
It's a pretty neat thing.
Yeah.
I think one of the main things to mention about this house as well is lighting. One of the main ways that a developer will save money is on lighting because it's so expensive. You can easily spend $1 million plus on lighting in a house because a lighting architect is going to cost you anywhere from $100,000 to sometimes $500,000, $600,000 for his design, and then you've got to pay for really expensive lighting, and you've got to pay for it to be wired throughout your ceiling, and you've got to, if you're putting cove lighting in, you've got to put coves in, so it's very expensive. So we actually have one of the top lighting architects in town, in Los Angeles, do our lighting design. We have very expensive lights in general, and you'll see that the lighting at night is amazing. A lot of it's indirect light, so everything looks good when you're in the space.
It's almost like
there's cove lighting in every room all throughout. Yeah, all the way throughout there's cove, and then we put a lot of thought to it. Everything's LED.
Wow.
Yeah.
So super energy efficient too.
That's right. And the other thing to mention is we really wanted to tie the inside and out so much so that we actually took the structural sheet metal and we brought it actually from outside all the way in. And that is a very difficult, expensive design that a lot of people miss because they'll think you just painted.
Yeah.
That's actually sheet metal that goes on all of the columns and around the heading of the entire house inside and out.
And what was your reasoning for doing that?
Architecturally, we wanted to make, because we're trying to make this an indoor-outdoor house, we wanted to make it feel seamless, not just the floor, but also the design. So literally, you feel like you don't know if you're inside and out, and that was the initial idea. Also, to break up the house, it's very easy for a modern house to look like a white box.
That's right.
So we were looking for as many ways as we could to separate this and change that feeling, so you feel like you're walking into something unique, architectural, and creative, and homey.
It is, yeah. It's got those vibes. It's very creative and very homey. Let's go check out the downstairs.
Okay. Yeah. So this is a jewel of a bathroom here. We have a bidet here that's heated and cooled bidet. It's completely automatic. It's a Baffi Italian sink. We have marble footboard around the whole bathroom. So we really give a lot of thought to this wallpaper choice, and you'll notice that all of the door handles in the house are wrapped in black leather, so you don't have to touch any metal.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like, it's I never thought about it, but it's like, you touch a door handle and it's cold out, It's uncomfortable, and it's like the little things, Now every time I walk into my house, I feel like a peasant because I don't have leather door handles.
It's gonna change that.
I know.
Now this, you'll see even in the hallway or this transition stairwell, it's cove lighting.
Oh wow!
And this is a 1930s throwback architectural light. And
I love that.
And this is also seagrass as well. We just changed the honing. We fired this, which gave it a different feel, but it's the same stone. And then we transitioned to French oak right here.
Yeah, it's very
almost
seamless.
seamlessly.
Yeah, you can't even tell when you come down the stairs. I would have even noticed it unless you told me.
It just subtly warms things up. We're now a living space. We wanted to give a little bit more warmth to it. And this entire level is your guest level.
So this is completely secluded. So you're entertaining upstairs. You can come down here, and the guests would not even know.
That's right. They've got their own little hangout area, and they're not in your space, and they can actually congregate, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. Wow.
This is a nice little Electrolux. You can see my laundry's needs to be done, but you got a full sink and everything you need in here for a utility room.
Wow, that's good.
And a lot of times, people will have their washer and dryer in the kitchen or something weird, so that was important for us to have it isolated.
That's true. I mean, it's out of the way.
One of my favorite things is my garage. Right now we're filming a movie here, so you're not getting to see it like I would normally show it to you. This is a subterranean 2-story garage with hydraulic lifts.
Red and black scheme.
Yeah, I wanted to go with Ferrari colors. It's heat treated paint. So even if I'm driving fast, I can come in here and it's not going to take any of the paint off the.
There's 3 cars down there, or 2 cars down there?
2 cars.
What are the other 2?
No, I could. But
Oh, you could. Okay, I was like,
yeah. Now that I'll stay, I probably will put more cars down
there.
there.
You go.
2 down there and 2 up here. So you
But
got
as of
park
right
4.
now, I just have my one car because I wasn't sure whether I was going to stay or sell.
Yeah.
But this entire garage is custom made. What's great about this garage is you could have $3 million of cars, and from the street, no one would know. And there's no glass on the front of this garage either. Also, no one knows that I'm coming in or out because the garage is extremely quiet. It's not on a motor, it's on a pulley system. So we actually drew this garage door on a piece of paper, and then $65,000 later, it was in existence.
That's crazy.
But it's really cool what you can do when you have really talented people working on things.
You really live up to the idea. If you can dream it, you can do it.
Yeah, that's right.
You literally dreamt it, wrote it on a piece of paper.
You know, I asked my architect out initially. I said, he was telling me all the things that you could do, and he's like, you could do that. And he goes,
I didn't think you could actually put a car lift in a garage like this, but I don't know, you did it.
This was a $1 million to $1.5 million choice.
Crazy. I've heard about $1 million.
I had no
garage,
idea.
But you actually spent $1 million on the garage.
On the garage.
Yeah.
Plus, maybe a little over. When you're initially making this decision, you have no idea how many other decisions it's going to affect.
Was that a hard choice for you? If you had the choice between do I buy a Bugatti or do I put a garage in?
Yeah, I know, right? I think definitely put the garage.
The garage.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's the perks of building your house, right? Because in the beginning, like if you had this house already and then you had to put it in, $1 million seems excessive.
Exactly.
But if you're building it from ground up, you're like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah, we're going this crazy already. But what's funny is the architect, I actually asked the architect initially when he was telling me, hey, we can put a pool in the air, and I looked at him and I said, you can do that?
Yeah.
He goes, with money you can do anything.
Absolutely.
And he ruined me from that point forward. I was like, well, I can do anything then.
That's right.
Cooling around problems in houses is you sometimes get to have a cooler house than you would have when you come up with these problems.
Sure.
And our big problem was, where do we put the TV?
Yeah. You don't want to block this view, right?
We don't want to block the view, and we really debated a lot over where to put a TV. And for a while, we were going to put it on this pillar. For a while, we were going to put it inside the wall and have it come out. And I even spent $12,000 on an arm that I had to basically give away because we ended up not going that direction. That's crazy. But finally, we decided that we would just have it come out from underneath the bed, and we would build a bed around a mechanical arm that we imported from the UK.
So basically, the bed is built around that arm.
Yes.
That's crazy.
And it is actually a 55-inch TV that sits about right here, and it works really cool. I have to say I'm very happy with how that turned out.
So what's more expensive, the arm or the TV?
The arm for sure. Oh, for sure. The TV wasn't cheap, but the arm was rather expensive. And then of course you have to pay to have it installed. So when you're all done, you just spend 20 grand.
Do you think it was a good investment when you watched the
Absolutely.
TV?
Yeah, for sure. It's a wow factor, and it works so well, and it will last, 20, 30 years, I'm sure.
I love that. Cause I've seen the bed where like the TV comes out from here or whatever.
Yeah.
But this is just like, it's invisible. It's like it doesn't even exist.
Yes.
You never ever see that. It's
Yes.
like a little sci-fi thing. It just pops out.
That's right.
I mean, I think in the future they should just make every bed with the TV that pops out of it.
It is pretty cool.
I mean,
I have to admit, I'm pretty impressed by it.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things like once you have it, you're like, why didn't everybody else do it?
Yeah. Now that I have it, I can't imagine not having it in this room. It just seems like you have to.
I know. Next time you go like in a hotel and they put the TV on a stand, you're like, I
Yeah.
can't stay here anymore.
Jeez. People skipped on this. You have a full kitchen here. That was important.
Miele appliances.
You have Miele, refrigerator and dishwasher, sink, and all you need to do is, bring a little toaster oven and coffee maker and juicer. You're really good to go.
You have the His&Hers Pelotons. So
you have a little workout area back here. You got a TV that's direct hardwired in. You've got 2 TVs here, and then you've got, if you want, you can pull your other TV out of the bed, and you can be very entertained while you're working out. The walk-in closet is pretty cool. We really wanted to make it feel like you're a little bit of a rock star.
Oh, we didn't see that earlier. That's awesome.
That's amazing. I didn't even know there was a walk-in closet here.
Oh, and this is a fireplace as well.
That's cool. So it's like sitting there with the fireplace.
So that's a pretty cool design element. I'll have it, I'll turn it on while I'm showing you the closet.
It's weird when you have to be like, man, I lost the remote to my house.
Yeah, seriously. There's like 42 remotes in this house.
That's crazy. It's crazy that the fireplace has to have a remote to it. You know?
I know, it's true. But
Is that a gas fireplace or?
It's gas, yeah. And they put up a lot of heat. Yeah. You know, I thought that having glass enclosed fireplaces would actually make it not like you're living in a fireplace.
Yeah.
This is not like that at all. These put out tons of heat. They get really hot actually.
Wow, amazing.
And then this is a fun area.
Wow.
It's a beautiful closet.
Really meant to kind of have a rock star feel to it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love it. Really. And here's where you get to enter the Zen garden.
So you're basically like outdoors again, but you're open to the nature right here, right?
But yet you can be in here while it's raining, and you know, you can really
So is that closed up actually?
be outside, but kind of inside.
Wow.
It doesn't close up, but during rains,
Oh, you're shaded in here.
You're shaded in here.
That is amazing.
So you can like listen to the rain. You can listen to your big fountain here that gives you a nice zen water feel.
I mean, this is like the place you just sit down and like meditate. I think in the evening. You know, this is like completely a whole different world that you're isolated from. Like, you wouldn't know where you are.
That's right. And everything is real. You know, all the grass up front and back, and all the plants. We were insistent upon making everything real. We didn't use fake anything. Even those rocks are, you know, hand-tooled marble rocks that were very expensive. So,
Who would have thought?
yeah.
That's crazy.
It's all a little one back. I had to keep going, and then you know, 5,000 later, I was still buying rocks.
Oh, this is the elevator.
So here's the museum for your cars.
Oh, there's the car elevator that comes down.
So you get to show off your cars.
Oh, that's amazing.
If people wouldn't know what this is, they would think you'd like, this is where you do your like weird sex rituals.
Totally.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like black and red.
Yeah.